So, hi friends, and welcome to Crick Vidya's cricket podcast, where we discuss various aspects of cricket. Our today's podcast is special. For the first time, we have a guest from the field of cricket journalism. He is Bharat Ramraj, and he's an editor, reporter, and a text commentator with CrickBus. Hi, Bharat. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for the invite.
So, Bharat, why don't you start us by telling our viewers about yourself, how your journey into the cricket journalism started, uh, what's your background in terms of studies, and how did you get into this field?
See, I basically did masters in business administration, that in marketing a specialization. So yeah, I was interested in cricket, but this field wasn't exactly on my mind. So what happened was in 2010, for the sake of experience, I took a job in HR. So after one more year, 1 or so year in 2011, I left that job. But as I didn't have experience in marketing, at that time I wasn't getting any jobs.
Hmm.
So because I was a fresher in that field, that was the time I started writing a few blogs here and there. I was still not thinking about joining this field, but
Okay.
it was around 2000, maybe 2013 or something like that, to early 2013, when I was not getting any jobs at all. That is when I started thinking seriously about this field, and then I started writing for Sportskeeda, Cricket Country, and Cricket Country's the then chief editor was impressed with my writing, at least at that time, higher in Natarajan. So he offered me a job. Just at that time, I had got a job in marketing as well. But then I chose my passion, so I got into this field. Cricket Country, I worked for about 10 months. And
Okay.
after I left Cricket Country, I joined CrickBuzz in August 2014. For about 1 year or so, I worked as a text commentator, and since 2016 June, I've been basically in the editorial team, obviously related to news publishing, related to some reports, writing. A few matches are covered here and there, and of course, a few interviews. Occasionally, I take here and there interviews, maybe once in a month, twice in a month. So that has been my journey over the last whatever 7 years. Of course, I didn't think about joining this field, but that's where I ended up. Yeah, it's still a work in progress. Hopefully, I'll keep improving my writing skills and my interviewing skills, and take a few more steps in the staircase to reach or to get success.
Yeah. So nice. So, uh, my second question to you would be that how has this field changed in the last few years? Because now we see a lot of more websites that have come up. Uh, the time that you would have started, not many websites would be there who would be covering cricket, mainly CrickBuzz, eSpin, Cricinfo. So, and also analytics has come up quite a lot in cricket now. So, according to you, how has this field evolved since the time you have joined?
Yeah, it is evolved big time. When if you look at say video editorial side, or how many videos podcasts, of course you are also doing a podcast, how many podcasts are coming through. If you look at when I joined this field in 2013, there were hardly a few podcasts. Now that there are job opportunities on the video editorial side itself. If you want to become a video editor, you can become one. Of course, as I said, lots of websites are coming. So first of all, what I have to think is time span, perhaps, of a particular customer, for a customer, I would say, for a ClickBuzz customer, for a ClickInfo customer. The time span these days might be lesser. So when the time span is lesser, a website posts some 5,000 worded article or 5,000 worded piece. Not many, maybe a few cricket connoisseurs, a few cricket aficionados may go and read through it for some 20-25 minutes, but I'm not too sure too many would. But so that's why you look at this all this new kind of websites. I'm not saying that's great in a sense, because you look at this new kind of websites coming up with X player did this on this particular day, Y player did this on this particular day, uh, and Anushka Sharma, Virat Kohli, all these things that I sometimes, okay, I'm not saying I'm blaming any of these websites because that's very much needed, but sometimes I sort of feel slightly sad for someone. I have also gone through it. I have also gone through such things at Cricket Country. So that is something you see a lot. Of course, you've talked about analytics. That also, as you know, you see ClickViz. Uh, you are also doing a lot of podcasts, and you see a lot of on Twitter itself. You see a lot of guys, a lot of youngsters trying to get into that field. So it's evolved big time from the time I joined this field in 2013, where it was mainly about writing maybe a few pieces, publishing few pieces. Obviously, as an editor, used to still publish a few pieces here and there and reports and all that stuff. But it has evolved big time, especially with all this podcast coming in. So many. I look at ClickBuzz itself, the last 4 years, how much it has come through in terms of video. On the video side, if you look at how much it has come through, it wasn't the case in say 2016 June when Harsha Bogle, I think around that time he joined. So yeah, if you look at the evolution, it keeps evolving. Even if you look at say text commentary, it's still okay, maybe big in 2020, but with the pandemic around, COVID-19 around, especially everyone has an internet. Maybe these days, at least lots of them have internet now. So we keep seeing them using it, streaming and all this stuff. So even text commentary in a couple of years, 2 3 years, it might not be big. So yeah, it will keep evolving. Maybe this COVID-19 times, pandemic times has sort of accentuated that because a lot more guys are perhaps using streaming and all this stuff. So yeah, it definitely would keep evolving, including analytics, which I see over the last couple of years or 2 3 years. It has definitely grown. So, yeah, overall basis, it will keep on evolving this particular field, digital
So,
field.
so another observation that I have is that the franchise teams, even the players, have now started their own channels. Like Ashwin is doing a lot of YouTube videos, and even a lot of ex-players like maybe Akash Chopra and many other Chris Shrikant have started their own channels. So, do you think that has impacted negatively to the field of sports journalism? Because now teams want to directly engage with their fans rather than uh, going through a particular website which is breaking any news. They tend to get the news from somewhere else only. So, do you think that has somehow impacted the ClickBuzz or ClickInfo negatively?
Not too sure whether that has really impacted any company. Of course, business manager might say something more on it. But yes, cricketers are coming up with podcasts. I also see Ashwin's podcast, Srinath and Ashwin's podcast. Once I saw they were discussing about flat seam and all that stuff, white coconut ball and the flat seam. Yeah, how it has, in a way, it has impacted cricket companies. You can say, see what happens is on Twitter, a lot of news stuffs come up. Sometimes it seems like it's Twitter which sort of unofficially breaks news, and then you sort of uh, go behind it and try to uh, find the source or something like that. So in that sense, perhaps it has sort of changed in a way. But podcasts and all, how it has, it is definitely uh, some players would have contracts with a particular company, still would have, with, for example, CrickBuzz, if you notice during the IPL times, during the IPL 2020, there were quite a few cricketers who
Mm.
came on CrickBuzz live. So in that sense, I'm not too sure, but yeah, it's definitely the way news comes through. It's definitely changed because you see a lot of news breaking out in on Twitter and all. Not too sure whether this is sort of verified news. This is 100% sure or something like that. So for an editor who's sitting on the desk like me, suddenly some breaking news comes that Ali Khan gets injured. I'm like just scrambling to find the right source, to find the right kind of contact, to see whether this is true or not. So in that sense, this is sort of impacted because suddenly I'm not taking anyone's name. Suddenly some X guy on Twitter will say, as per source, particular injury, someone has been injured and he gets some 5,000, 10,000 likes or whatever. So in that sense, it sort of becomes slightly different for an editor or a reporter sitting on the desk. These days, as you know, at least these days now, a lot of things you do it on the desk. Especially during these pandemic times, no one is like going out and
Yeah.
trying to find out news. So in that sense, it is sort of changed. So yeah, as I said, it will keep evolving with time. This digital world. Uh, I don't know what more I would see in the years to come.
True, true. So, if I ask you personally, what do you think you would like to do in the future? So, you have evolved, as you said, from doing a particular role to now doing editing and also doing some interviews. So, if you think about your role in, let's say, or what you want to do in the coming years, would you want something to change, or you think that this is something that you would want to do just with better quality?
See, when I started, there was a thinking. Of course, every constructive criticism you have to take it in the right spirit. There was a thinking that I tended to use a lot of adjectives in my writings. So since then, obviously, I've tried to evolve. I still feel I'm a work in progress only even after 7 years. Of course, there has to be continuous improvement. The last interview I did was, I think, with Neetu Davids this month. I did one interview. So if you notice it, I've tried to make it sure that my interviews are a lot more simple, a lot more precise. I start with the subject matter itself instead of trying to bring in so many adjectives, trying to confuse a person. So in that sense, I'm still trying to be work in progress. Maybe somewhere in the future, I would want to write a book, something like that, on cricket or some other subject. But again, if I have to write a book, then I need 5, 6 months, perhaps I need to take
Of time.
sabbatical leave or whatever. So, and that might go sort of, I have to think of it, how to take that kind of leave. So that is something that is in mind. For now, I'm just concentrating mainly on, say, one entry per month, or say one feature per 2 months or something like that. So as to bring a bit more quality into my work. So that's how I look at. Maybe I'm a bit slow in that aspect, but it's better to be slow and get it right rather than trying to rush in and bring up some piece that I'm not too sure about. So I'm still trying to evolve as a writer. What I would say is, if someone wants to get into this field, if someone wants to become a writer, of course, as I said, there are a lot more things now coming in with the podcast and analytics and all that stuff. But if still someone wants to be storyteller and all, no one is a born writer. The best thing is to keep writing. If you keep writing, pretty sure the person will evolve as a storyteller. It might take a little more time, but you'll definitely climb the staircase of success.
Sure. So, if I ask you, what does a typical day, maybe a match day and a non-match day, looks like for you when you're working these days?
At Crickbus these days Crickbus means, see, day-to-day work means for me it is news editing. So for example, ex-correspondent might send something from South Africa or Australia. It is my duty to go through that particular piece, find any mistakes if I have to. This is final job of is for the editor. So it's my responsibility to publish piece that is correct, factually, grammatically, everything. And anything else, for example, a breaking news comes up. As I said, I gave the example, ex-player gets injured. It might come from a source. Then it's my job to find out whether that is verified or true. Occasionally, I might use a contact or two to see that whether it is true or not, or maybe my colleague would use it, and then I have to write that piece as a ClickBus staff. And of course, it has to get published. My colleague or someone else will publish it, or if he writes, I will publish it. And if it's a match day, I would have to take care of report stuffs. For example, South Africa England match yesterday was going on. It was my that came under my purview. Of course, it would get shared. Uh, on some other day, I might be handling India Australia match. I have to do live reports and I have to do match reports for that, innings report as well as the final report. So that would be on a match day. It might also be something related to website management. For example, if you see ClickBuzz on top, you might see what can I say, India, Australia, something news related to India, Australia, let us say. So it's also one of my responsibilities to manage the website, which story should come on top, which story shouldn't come on top. And of course, that could be some course copy coming in. For example, yesterday, course copy came in about, I think, Kieran Pollard after the match, New Zealand West Indies match. He was talking about various things about what happened in the match with courts. So I might be responsible for writing that course copy, or I might be responsible for publishing that course copy. So this is all related to new stuff. Of course, outside of new stuff, I usually, when I take an interview and all, usually I try to make it sure that it's outside of this new stuff, desk stuff. For example, the last interview I took was with Eric Siemens. Of course, I'm still working on this copy, but it was outside of the desk work for me. So I took the interview. I'm still processing it. So this kind of things I don't try to mix it with the desk, because desk it would be hectic shift. So it's one way it would be hectic shift. Suddenly breaking news can come. So that is how a day-to-day desk work looks like on the ClickBuzz editorial side. Of course, when I was working on the text commentary front, and I'm now a former text commentator. When I was working on the text commentary front, I had different responsibilities. Of course, I've not worked till now on the video front. So that's the day-to-day work for a particular editor, publishing editor. Of course, now with pandemic going around, we have to do it mostly from our homes. So we have to connect with chat, Google Chat, and all this stuff. So just to ensure that there is workflow is going well, communication is going well. Suddenly, some breaking news comes. For example, IPL was going to be held. It was confirmed somewhere in September. Breaking news comes. So some 4 or 5 colleagues we have to communicate, coordinate with each other. It's of course it's not as easy these days, but yeah, we have to do it to keep the website going.
Yeah. So COVID has actually changed a lot of lives in terms of people, how they work and how they commute and everything about everyone. So that is
And yeah,
expected.
we also have to think about social media. For example, you see a lot of stuffs on ClickBuzz Twitter, Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, or Facebook, ClickBuzz, Facebook, Instagram for ClickBuzz, or for the matter, Twitter ClickBuzz. So a lot of this stuff, sometimes I would be responsible, sometimes someone else would be responsible, take it as per shift. So this also would come into publishing editors' jurisdiction, at least. On ClickBuzz.
So you are quite active on Twitter also. So that is more like a personal
Yes, yes,
hobby, you would
not
say, right?
related. Yes, that's actually what happens is we, we as editors, we as desk people, those who work at the desk, we have to keep an eye on the news, right? Who knows what time, what news will come? So we'll keep social media channels open. So,
Okay.
because this news is sort of editorial news. It's sort of what things irregular. If you have hectic work, you will have lots of work. So 4 or 5 news coming through. If you just have a couple of people working, you might suddenly have lots of news coming through, or you might not have anything coming through for 2 3 hours. So you have to keep yourself going. So
So I'll finally like to conclude by asking you to suggest a few things to the budding writers and people who want to get into this field of writing about cricket. So let's say a youngster who's just got into college. So what is a good path to follow for him if he wants to get into this field?
First of all, I'm not trying to be pessimistic or something, but during this COVID-19 pandemic, yeah, it's become sort of tough for us journalists. Even if I'm a middle level journalist, if I sort of go out to try some other company, it might take a lot more time for me. So these are not exactly greatest of times for us journalists, but hopefully it'll get better. For budding writer, what I would say is no one is a born writer. See, I don't think anyone is a born writer. More you write, the better you will get. And one more thing I would say is perhaps try to keep it simple. Try to keep your writing style sort of precise, starting with the subject matter, because time span is now less. For example, a 15-year-old kid, would he read? Yes, I wrote one reverse swing piece in 2018. There's a 5,500 worded piece. It's a niche segment piece, but would a 15-year-old or 10-year-old go through a 5,500, 6,000 worded piece? No, I'm not too sure. So try to keep it precise. Try to bring the subject matter to start, and try to build a good narrative. Of course, as I said, the more you write, the better you'll get. I don't consider myself as a finished product either. So I'm also a work in progress. I'm trying to see whether I can make some minute changes or incremental changes here and there slightly and try to improve. So it's the best thing I can tell. Hopefully, in a few months' time, more opportunities will come in, more vacancies will come in. And obviously now podcasts are coming through, and lot of vacancies are coming on the video side. That's what I'm seeing. If in case somewhere I try to search on the net or through some colleagues, I get to see a lot more opportunities on the video side now. So that is something youngsters can look at if they feel the writing is sort of tedious stuff, or it takes a lot more time. So there is an opportunity, good opportunity, solid opportunity.
So
Of course,
uh,
yeah.
I have actually interacted with quite a few people on Twitter because we do podcasts. So a lot of these youngsters are okay doing voice or text, but they are not very comfortable doing videos.
Yes,
So I think your suggestion and my suggestion to them would be that they should not feel uh,
yes.
like they should take up video also. They should
And
try video so that
not
because
just
that is very
podcast. There are vacancies on the video side in terms of video editor, and also there is another opportunity that is opening up. Just like I'm a news editor. Of course, I take interviews here and there. I write a few features on World Cups and all that I do, but I'm a news editor. Triple. So in the same way, there is an opportunity opening up on the video editorial side as well. Of course, as you can see, analytics as well. It's opening up with some websites. So that is video side. They can definitely look at bring up more podcasts, as you said as well. Text commentary side, someone wants to get in. I'm not discouraging someone. That's never my way of doing it. I always try to encourage whoever it is. But text commentary side, what I would say is the way this digital world is evolving in 3-4 years time. I'm not 100% sure about this particular field, how it would be. Presently, it is still definitely good if you go to uh, which sites do it, ESPN Cricket or Crickbus. Still, you get good opportunities, but down the line, say 3-4 years time, if you think of text commentary, might struggle a bit that particular field, not currently. So yeah, the editor, there are the different opportunities now, but as I said, during this COVID-19 pandemic, maybe the opportunities aren't really coming through at present. It actually, few of the budding journalists keep asking me on Twitter via DM, is there any opportunity or something? What can I say? I can't say there's no opportunity at my company or something like that, because then I'm discouraging. But just keep going. If I get something, then definitely help. And of course, on the analytics front, it's definitely evolving. So there are different opportunities, but yeah, maybe at present, due to the pandemic, it's a bit slow, this particular field.
So great. I think from the video side also, uh, because a lot more players have also now started it, there is another challenge that uh, you can't really, it's not really easy to just start a video podcast and gain viewers because nobody knows you.
Yeah.
So in that sense, it's a very, you have to be really persistent
Yes.
with what you are doing,
Yeah.
and then rewards will start coming in the long term. In even in short term, you'll not really get a lot.
Yeah, that's as a private guy. If you're starting, if you want to get into a particular cricket company, what you can do is you can become a sort of producer, or sort of video editor, these sort of things, because a particular cricket company might have a tie-up with two, three cricketers, and you're just basically an editor or a sort of producer. These sort of things might you might get opportunities, and then slowly you might get get into some other different opportunities, like a sort of news editor, or something like that.
So great. So it was really fun talking to you, Bharat. We got to know uh, a very different side of cricket, the editorial side, how you cover cricket. So that was really insightful for a person like me who has not really seen or met anybody from that side of cricket. And also, budding writers get to understand how the world works, and they'll feel encouraged and know what to do. So in that sense, it was really helpful, and also it was fun getting your insights about cricket. So really thank you for coming on the podcast, and I hope our listeners would like it, and we look forward to having you again for some other more insightful topics on like very particular topics on, and have your views there.
Yeah, my pleasure. Hopefully, I made some sense.
Yeah, so I think uh, for people who want to get into this, our aim was to get an idea about your world, so that whoever wants, there are many budding people on Twitter especially, who actually would want to get into this field of cricket, maybe not particularly, let's say, text, but video or audio. So I think it will be really helpful for them to understand how the world works, and plan their future.
Thanks.
So
Thanks.
thank you, Bharat. Thank you for coming on our podcast.